Now another sense we can use to change up our walks in our local area a little bit is our sense of smell. We don't often think about using that probably when we go for a walk, but different outdoor areas might smell very different. So for example, if you're spending some time in your garden, you might get the scent of cut grass or flowers growing. If you've got an area of woodland nearby you, you're more likely to get the smell of damp earth. If there's pine trees, those might smell very different to another mixed kind of woodland. Or if you're on the beach, you might smell the salty sea air. So we can use these to make our walk a little bit more exciting. See how many different scents maybe your children can smell as you go for your walk. Do they have a favourite smell? And how do the smells change as the seasons change and we go into spring and summer as well? And you could even have a go at trying to get the scent out of some safe plants like this conifer hedge. If I rub it between my fingers here, the scent, it's so strong. So see which of those you can find that you like for your children. And I've just managed to spot these beautiful daffodils that have come out. They're quite early, I can just catch their scent, but it definitely smells like spring. Here, for example, I found a holly bush and I can tell it's full of birds because I can hear them, and I think it's a big group of starlings. So quite often it's good to be able to use your sense of hearing anyway, because you can detect a lot more wildlife around you. Now another fantastic way of changing up your walks a little bit and exploring your local area in a different way is to focus on your sense of hearing. So we're just going from winter into spring, and that means there's lots of fantastic signs of spring that you can hear around about. Lots of animals getting ready to nest and possibly to mate that you'll be able to hear, and enjoying the weather getting warmer. So next time you're going for a walk, you could even find a place that's nice and safe for your children to stop with you, and you could get them to shut their eyes and to see just what they can focus on hearing in the natural world around them. You might not be able to identify all the noises, but perhaps you could try and even recognise them by comparing them to another noise that your children might know. There's lots of birds that you can identify as they sound like something else that they might know. Maybe you could ask your kids to see if they can listen to the furthest sound in the distance they can hear, and what is the closest noise up, right near them that they can hear. Is there a noise that they prefer more than another noise? And you can see the changes in the sounds that you hear around happen as the weather changes and as we go into spring and into summer as well. Now if you're particularly keen on hearing bird noises, one of the best times of day to go for a walk then is first thing in the morning, when you might catch the dawn chorus. Just as we're getting into spring, the birds are really loud at this time. You'll hear lots of mating calls, and you might also hear some alarm calls like that of the blackbird, which I've just heard as I'm walking through. So you can see if your children can tell whether the birds sound maybe happy or angry, or whether they're getting ready for spring when you're listening to them. So for example, there's a bird that I can't see on this wintry day, but it's making a noise a bit like a squeaky dog toy. So you can see what your kids think the birds sound like to them. Here, for example, I found a holly bush and I can tell it's full of birds because I can hear them, and I think it's a big group of starlings. So quite often it's good to be able to use your sense of hearing anyway, because you can detect a lot more wildlife around you. And even on a windy day, there are great noises to listen to. The sounds of dry crispy leaves or pine trees swaying in the wind is a really good one to look out for. And if you're lucky, you might even get to hear water flowing somewhere around you, especially on a day when there might have been lots of rain, or like today when the snow's melting. But it's a lovely, calm, relaxing noise to listen to. So you can see if your children enjoy listening to that, maybe with their eyes shut as well. And this time of year, there are some fantastic noises that you guys can make as well as you go for your walk. I love that squelching noise as you're walking through mud, and I'm sure your kids will enjoy that, and even some jumping in puddles. So hopefully these ideas have given you some ways to make your same lockdown walks a little bit more exciting, and even you could come up with some own activities or games or creative challenges for your kids to do using their senses as well. So I hope to see you again soon.